Well, the first Smackdown of 2021. Should get used to saying 2021 because 2020 has been an awful year. But the first Smackdown of 2021 has finally has come to an end. And this is your first review. This is going to be your first wrestling review of 2021. Gotta get used to saying 2021 because it's so surreal to finally be free from 2020. But anyway, the show began with Roman Reigns. He came to the ring, talking about his victory, praising Paul Heyman, praising his cousin Jay, and then Kevin Owens would come to the ring. He would say his thing, and yeah, he would demand a match. He would demand a match with Jey Uso, which Adam Pearce does indeed give to him later on in the show. Our first match was Big E versus King Corbin in a tag team match. Well, first it was a singles match, then it became a tag team match. And DQ. Sami Zayn causes the DQ. Apollo! Comes to the ring. Don't know why it wasn't Murphy though. Don't know why it wasn't Murphy. Would have made a lot more sense for it to be Murphy because he's been feuding with Corbin. So, okay. I went with Apollo. Not complaining, I love Apollo, but, you know, I just thought it would have made more sense for it to be Murphy than Apollo! But either way, Corbin ends up leaving Sami Zayn to be pinned by Apollo! Spin out powerbomb. I really do not, to this day, I still do not like Apollo's new theme. Even though I've been used to it now, I still just prefer cruise control over to the top. So, yeah. Then we had the Riot Squad. They took on Tamina and Natalya. Natalya had new music. She kind of had like this new rock solo to her music. And that was a bit of a surprise. Natalya got definitely it was just very bizarre. But Billie Kay, however, she was accompanying Natalya and Tamina to the ring. And I love Billie Kay. You guys know how much I love Billie Kay. She's being that hilarious. She's being that hilarious character. She's being hilarious. Everyone just finds her annoying character-wise, and she's all over the place. It's like the botch guy calls Bobby Lashley the most confused man on earth, but Billie Kay, I think we can call Billie Kay the most confused woman on the earth, because she was accompanying Natalya and Tamina to the ring, and then all of a sudden she's standing in the Riot Squad's corner cheering them on. Riot Squad win, and then she runs over to the Riot Squad and she just starts celebrating with them. She starts celebrating with them, and Liv and Ruby are like all confused. They're like, what the hell? She's on the opposite side. Like they were just confused. Billie Kay, the most confused woman on earth, ladies and gentlemen. And I think that's hilarious. Billie Kay is such a gem. You guys know how much I feel about it. She's hilarious. She's great. Wasn't a fan of her being a manager though. She's definitely a good wrestler. But you know, she's getting television time. Like, if there's one thing I can't complain is that she's getting television time. The funny thing is, in this match, the state of this match just makes me miss the Iconics. WWE should have never broken up the Iconics. I knew the day was coming. But I think WWE should now realize what they have done wrong. You put Peyton Royce with Lacey Evans, one of the worst wrestlers that you could have ever came across, on television. And the whole point of the Iconics breaking up was to set up Peyton Royce for a big singles push. Well, there's no reason for that big singles push now. Charlotte's back. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler seem to be in line for that potential spot against Asuka. So what was the point? What was the point? Charlotte's now back. You've now got literally zero reason to push Peyton Royce as a single star. And now you put her in a tag team with Lacey Evans of all people. You didn't even give Peyton a chance to even showcase what she could do in singles. Secondly, she's barely getting any television time. And the second thing, they broke up their heavy machinery. And how many appearances has Tucker made on Monday Night Raw since split up? Once. He got jobbed out by Ricochet. Otis is getting more TV time than his partner. This is the thing that I don't like. Like, you break up teams, but you just don't do anything with them. You just don't do anything with them. It's just bizarre. It's just bizarre and stupid. Why break up teams if you're not going to do anything with either of them? Otis is doing fine with Chad Gable. I'm actually all for this Alpha Academy thing with Otis and Chad. But you got Tucker doing nothing. You got Tucker literally doing nothing. And it just doesn't make any sense. To just break up these teams and you're literally doing nothing with them. I had to go and find a YouTube video to see of what Tucker looks like as a singles competitor. And what did I find? He had a match with Humberto Carrillo on WWE Main Event. And that was after Hell in a Cell. No joke, that match happened after the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view event. That was like a week after he turned heel and betrayed Otis. That was the last time we ever saw Tucker on television. Oh, well, he won the 24/7 title. Yeah, he briefly won the 24/7 title. Who gives a shit, right? No one gives a shit about that piece of shit title. Put that thing on Billie Kay. She'll turn that into a gold mine. Seriously. But my point is that you break up these teams and you're doing nothing with them. Otis is doing good with Chad. Billie Kay is doing her own thing, and she's trying to get this resume thing over. She's trying to get this resume character over, and it's just sad. You should have never broken up the Iconics. Never should have broken up the Iconics. It was ridiculous. It was a stupid idea. They should have never done it. Never should have. Then we had Bayley and Carmella face off against Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. Carmella pinned Sasha Banks here. Now, this at first annoyed me because, you know, it's your typical WWE. You always got to have the challenger, you know, beat the champion. Like, if they really wanted Carmella to be the #1 contender, listen. If they really wanted Carmella to get another match with Sasha Banks, did you have to pin her? Did you have to pin Sasha Banks? Did you? Let me ask you this. How would you rather people get championship matches? Let me ask you people this question. How would you rather your champions get challenges? Would you rather the challengers pin the champions? Or would you rather them actually run through their division, have a #1 contenders match, and actually win a #1 contenders match and earn the championship match that way? I picked the second option. Look, it's fine to have the champion lose, but secondly, you shouldn't be having your champions lose, period. You shouldn't be having your champions lose, period. Now, would have it made more sense for Bianca Belair to eat the pin instead of Sasha Banks? Maybe I would have been more accepted to Bianca. Maybe I would have accepted Bianca being pinned more than Sasha, because Sasha's the champion. You should never be pinning your champions. Period. You should never be pinning your champions. You should have just had Carmella in like a fatal 4-way with like frickin' Bianca, Bayley, and Natalya, and then you just have Carmella pin Natalya, and then she's the #1 contender that way. You should have just done it that way. No reason to just have your champion take a random loss that, like, yes, some will say, oh, well, it just now means Carmella is going to get another match with Sasha Banks. But you could have literally done it any other way. You could have just literally had Carmella just become #1 contender. Just beat Natalya or beat Bianca or beat Bayley. Just have her beat someone to become #1 contender. You didn't need to have her pin the champion. That's all I'm trying to say. You didn't need to have her pin the champion. So before we move on to the next segment, we'll talk about one other thing. We had the return of one Sonya Deville. Okay? So Sonya Deville is back. Sonya Deville was shown backstage. She was walking backstage. And they just said she's reinstated. Okay. Why? Tell me, why was she reinstated? Was there an agreement that went on? Or are they saving that for next week? Sure, it's great to see Sonya Deville back. Now, I knew she wasn't gone forever. If you're a person and you thought Sonya Deville was gone forever from WWE, then you're just crazy. Sonya Deville was never gone from WWE forever. She was always gonna come back. She was always coming back. But now that I think about it, now that I see Sonya Deville, now I'm kind of thinking to myself, does Sonya Deville win the 2021 Royal Rumble? Does she win the Royal Rumble? A lot of people want it to be Bayley. Some people want it to be Bayley. Most people want it to be Bianca. So does Sonya Deville win? I thought, and secondly, I kind of would have thought Sonya Deville returning at the Royal Rumble would have made more sense. Kind of like a bit more of a surprise. But I guess I can't really complain. I mean, Sonya, I'm not the biggest Sonya Deville fan in the world. I did enjoy her feud with Mandy Rose. So, I guess we'll see soon enough what happens with Sonya Deville. Hopefully they explain why she's back. I don't want them to just say, yeah, she's back now, just accept it. I actually want them next week. I want Sonya Deville to come out next week and explain why she's back. Because I don't like it when WWE don't explain things. I don't like it when WWE just don't explain things. I don't like it when WWE just say, hey, here you go, insert this has happened, just deal with it. Just accept it. I want WWE to tell me why is Sonya Deville back. So next week on SmackDown, I expect Sonya Deville to come out and tell us why she's back. Because it just doesn't make any sense to just bring her back and say, here you go, Sonya's back. We don't need to tell you why she's back. She's back. So tell me why Sonya's back next week. Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler attacked the Street Profits in a vicious attack. This wasn't too terrible. I actually did not mind this at all, which was... It actually made Robert Roode and Ziggler look somewhat decent. So, yeah, that's really all I can say there. And then we had Otis and Daniel Bryan face off against Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura. Daniel Bryan makes Shinsuke Nakamura tap out. I never thought that sentence would have ever been uttered. Shinsuke Nakamura taps out. That literally has to be the first time I have ever seen that man tap out since he came to WWE. WWE have really dropping the ball with Shinsuke Nakamura. Yes, he's had some success, you know, winning the Royal Rumble, winning the Intercontinental Championship, winning the United States Championship, winning the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Yes, he's had some success. But I really believe WWE should have moved him to Monday Night Raw, giving him like a new, fresh start. I just think it's kind of weird that they've kept him on SmackDown. I think moving him to Monday Night Raw could have been the better solution, because it would have given him, you know, something different, something new. He'd be surrounded with different wrestlers. It's a real shame what they've done to Nakamura. It's a real damn shame what they've done to the poor guy. He deserves a lot better than this. He's had some success. He has had some success, but it's a real shame what they've done to him. And then the main event was Kevin Owens facing off against Jey Uso, and Kevin Owens won, but then Jey and Kevin Owens would continue to attack Jey, and then Roman would appear, and Jey would gang up on Owens 2-on-1, and they would throw him off the stage. They would throw him. They would be like, they're like standing on top of somewhere above like the people, like where the Thunderdome people are, and then they throw Kevin Owens off that, and he's crashing through a table. So that's how the show goes off the air. Pretty good way, pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff if you ask me. And yeah, that's pretty much my opinion on SmackDown. So there you go. Those are my thoughts and opinions on SmackDown. Another good edition of SmackDown. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that thumbs up. If you guys did enjoy this review, comment your thoughts down below. And I will see you all next time.